everyone. Hope everyone is doing well today. Thank you for joining us. All right, so I want to go through a few things here, guys. I want to do a bit of a market update. I want to talk a little bit of economics, where we see things going. I want to do a trading demonstration for both new and old people on a few instruments. I'll log into my phone and we'll go from there. And hopefully that's okay with you. So, from a technical standpoint, we'll go through this. We'll go through this chart here. We can see here. And as I said before, I like this because this guy puts all the lines on and draws everything kind of for us. This is great, but we do see like this technically speaking, guys, we do see you know, one, two, three, four times where that kind of 61 something ceiling has been hit, and it has been unable to break through that, right? And it gets pushed down to, back to 20 and 50-day moving averages, testing the recent breakout, right? So breaks out, hits that barrier, comes down to the 20 and 50-day moving average, does it again, does it again, does it again. And we've seen this, right? So we do need, and it's interesting because, why is this quote unquote topping area acting as so much resistance? That's an interesting question. In my opinion, I think this topping area is acting as so much resistance because of fundamental factors, right? Uh, we do see tariffs. We might have there's the inkling of the reemergence of some inflation, right? We do have a Fed which is kind of on hold for, several months now, potentially up until September, right? We do have these things that are going on, right? And maybe those fundamental factors are causing this chart to say, well, we're not going to go beyond that point, right? And this is a bit of a chicken and egg scenario. It's like, what drives the market, the chart or the actual market? And I think sometimes it's a little bit of both. I don't think there's any real definitive answer there. So again, and you can see like, even though the other point, a few other points I want to make, you can see the way this line is here. This kind of acted as a resistance area here and here in July and in it looks like late August, right? And then it did break out, and perhaps that same line is going to be acting as a little bit of support once and potentially twice, but definitely along that 20 and 50-day moving average, which has been respecting pretty well. It did drop below a lot into December, but since the turn of the calendar year, yes, that 50 and 200-day moving average has been, acting as a good deal of support, um, basically for most of this year, right? And it says here, previous resistance still in a position to be tested as support uh, at this past summer's highs, right? So hopefully it doesn't get down to that level, because that's a pretty big, that's like a, you know, two, yeah, it's about a 2% drop, a full 2% drop here, but we shall see. Yes, yeah. All right. So what does the commentary say here? Let's just actually, oops, sorry, so sorry. Give me 1 second here. Oops, I bumped out times. All right. I went a little bit too far down or too far back. Let me just pull that thing up again. All right. So here we have it. So guys, yes. So again, is this really a downside? I don't think so. I think there's some market catalysts that are going to cause this area to be maintained, but I don't, no one has a crystal ball, and anyone who does, they're simply, they're not being fully transparent. So S&P closed lower by just over 0.4%. 0.4%, so not much at all. Still maintaining levels slightly above that 6,100 hurdle, which we've talked about right here. Okay, that acted as a cap to upside momentum over the past couple of months. Yeah, we see that. The benchmark is managing to remain resilient above the 20-day moving average, despite the apparent loss of excitement to buy around present highs. I would agree with that as well. There was a lot of excitement, right? And excuse me, the excitement was, okay, well, is Mr. Trump going to do wonderful things to the economy? And that excitement or that exuberance, that seems to have faded. I don't know about what you guys think. I mean, I'd be interested to know, like, I don't see that exuberance still on the horizon as much. So let me know because it seems to be like okay, a big bang and then it's okay, well now what? Right? Where the hell is it? Like what's going on here, right? And maybe that's all it is, right? He'll say, incredible like, crazy things and off we go. But like the promise was that hey, he would have a little bit more economic impact. And maybe slowly it's going to creep back into the economy. I don't know, right?